You've got to train AI to do what you want it to do because it doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
Right. If we understand AI as a tool and being like, all it's going to do is it's going to search the web and pull information based on the query that you give it. But other than that, it doesn't know anything else. It doesn't know anything about you. It doesn't know anything about your business. But it can learn and it can store information. So once we start teaching it, once we start training it, that's when the magic really happens.
Yeah. Welcome to the Profit Lifestyle for Fitness Entrepreneurs podcast. My name is Scott Carpenter. I am a personal trainer turned multiple gym owner and investor who's already been through the rock bottom and near bankruptcy in the fitness business. But I've been lucky enough to come out the other side and have turned the profits of my fitness business into indestructible wealth. I'll be sharing the no bullshit strategies, tactics, and advice to win big in business and in life. So if you're a gym owner, a personal trainer, or an online coach who wants to make multiple six figures in take-home profit and have the freedom with your time to actually enjoy it, subscribe now to this podcast. This is the show for you. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Profit Lifestyle for Fitness Entrepreneurs with me, Scott Carpenter, and Andy Boimila. Welcome, Andy. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Scott. Happy to hop on. Love chatting with you. And we've got a great topic today that I'm super excited about because I think it's intimidating for a lot of people. But when you learn how to utilize it and leverage it correctly, it can be a game changer.
It really can. It's like, so we're going to talk about how to use AI to save time, but also make money. And it's kind of crazy because AI has been out for, is it a couple years now, maybe?
At least. I mean,
like in
probably,
the ChatGPT. That's
yeah. ChatGPT probably 5 years maybe at this point.
No,
I don't know. I also put things in COVID time, and COVID was 5 years ago, and that just seems so weird to me still.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's only been like 2.5 years or something like that.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But yeah, at first it's like, oh my God, this thing is awesome. Like, look at what it can do. And then as time goes by, you're like, oh, the email, like if you're using it to create email or social media, it can kind of suck.
Absolutely.
It can really suck. And right, all the businesses that we own, I get business to business emails and I can tell when they're written by AI. I can tell when you spent 5 seconds to write it because even the emojis, even just the emoji positioning, you can pick
AI
it out.
It loves emojis. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And it's like the weirdest emojis.
Yeah.
I'm like, that doesn't even fit there.
Yeah. And there's too many of them, right?
So many emojis.
And so like when it's social media, when it's email, you can tell AI wrote it instantly. And my brain automatically filters that out. Like I can see it and then I stop reading it. Delete, delete, delete. Yep. And when I have asked ChatGPT to help speed up different things, usually what it spits back, it sucks. It's not good. And guys, the world is automated. You guys know if you've ever run Facebook ads recently, the automations don't work like they used to because this is a bot. This is AI. This is whatever it is. And it loses that personal touch. And it's kind of like Simon Sinek, right? People don't buy what you do or how you do it. They buy why you do it.
Absolutely.
And it's that story and the connection. And that's why people are going to choose you. And, in your gyms, this is where you run into it too, right? I guarantee you, if I go into your gym website and I opt in, I'm going to get about the same thing as anywhere else. What I'm not going to get in it is your story, why you chose to help people in this way as what you do for a living.
Right. Because AI's not going to know that.
AI's not going to know that. Right. And so if you just tell it to do some stuff, it usually sucks. And so I have been guilty of not leveraging AI and being a little bit of a late adopter to some degree to it. It's just, I hopped in early, started using it, and I'm like, this is not that good. And then it loses Scott and my personal touch and what and then I'm like, what am I doing? And I just got to learn how to use this thing better. And Andy, you've been ahead of it with me. And then recently I've kind of really entered new ground. I'm like, oh, I see how to use this stuff now. And it speeds the shit out of things. And
it does.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is it's another tool, right, to have in your toolbox. And you got to understand how to use that tool properly, right? It would be like trying to use a hammer to cut a board in half. It's not going to work. And then you blame the hammer and you say, well, the hammer's not good at its job. And you're like, no, you didn't use it correctly. And the same thing goes for AI. If we learn how to use it properly, then it can save us time and we can leverage it to essentially free us up to make more money in our businesses.
Exactly. And so what I was doing, and this is where I'm just like, no, I gotta get over this thing, I gotta do it. So what I was talking about with your gyms, and if you opt in the emails and the text messages they get, I'm pretty sure they're probably pretty generic, right? And
Probably.
and there's a lot of people who don't respond to it, or they'll no-show the appointments because they don't give a shit. You're not different than anybody else. You're a commodity. And I realize that. I'm like, I'm guilty of that. And even with what we do, we do business coaching to help other fitness entrepreneurs, gym owners and trainers and online coaches, right? And some of our automations and stuff, yeah, you don't really understand. We're so much different, right? And those of you who know us know this, but there's a lot of charlatans out there with marketing and this and that. They'll promise that you make $1 billion or your money back. It's a giant, you guys know your Facebook feed probably looks like mine as a gym owner, right?
Oh man, the amount of ads I get that are like, add 150 clients over the weekend. And I'm like, that's not how, like, come on.
Yeah, it's bad. And everybody's blowing smoke up your ass. And it's not what I do. You know what I mean? It's not what we do. But is that reflected in our shit? If you were to know, unless you're listening to podcasts or you've been on calls with us, you might not know that. Whose fault is that? That's our fault.
Absolutely.
So what I was going to do, and I'm a big fan of Russell Brunson with marketing, ClickFunnels. You guys know that, right? He's one of the world's best marketers. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt. And, one of the things that he likes to do when somebody opts in, he calls it like a 5-day soap opera sequence. And it's something that makes you want to read the emails. It's something that will introduce people so they know, like, and trust you. You'll build actually drama and tension through storytelling. These emails will actually look forward to getting the next email from you while you're also going to drop valuable things for them. And the whole point is they're going to get to know who you are and why you do what you do. Instead of just like, yes, your next step is to come in for an appointment. Would you like to do that? Right? So I started writing this. I need to do it for the gyms because I am guilty of not getting to this. But I first started this with on our fitness business consulting, right? Our business coaching. And I found the website where Russell explains what you want to do each day for 5 days. And it also gives his examples of a written one. So I had day one. I'm like, cool, let me write my version. I did it, okay? And it takes a long time. I mean, it might have taken like 30, 45 minutes, but like I'm drained afterwards. And I'm like, God. And then what I want to do is like stop working on that, not complete it, and it wouldn't be done. But I'm like, what am I doing all this manually? This is so dumb. Let me use ChatGPT and stop being a jackass about it. So I caught myself. I wrote the first one. And then the key is ChatGPT and AI is no different than a real life person. If you give a real life person a task to do, they are going to do the shittiest job possible typically. It's like you have an employee and you want them to clean this gym and they'll do the worst job possible. And then what you have to do is show them what clean means.
Exactly.
Right? You know this, Andy. I mean,
yeah,
you're a
and
really good
that's what it comes down to. You've got to train AI to do what you want it to do because it doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
Right. If we understand AI as the tool and being like, all it's going to do is it's going to search the web and pull information based on the query that you give it. But other than that, it doesn't know anything else. It doesn't know anything about you. It doesn't know anything about your business, but it can learn and it can store information. So once we start teaching it, once we start training it, that's when the magic really happens.
Yeah. And if you want to see this, just ask it to tell you something or research something or give you an explanation and then say, hey, that was really terrible, very surface level. I actually really need you to spend more time on this and do a better job. And it'll do a better job. It's crazy, but it will give you the worst thing possible up front, right? Until you give it more explicit instructions and teach it. And
I mean, I guess AI is lazy is really what it comes down to, right?
Like, just like a person. Exactly. AI is lazy until you tell it not to be lazy. Like, oh, my apologies. Let me actually put some effort into this. It's just like a human, which is crazy.
But not only that, just like a human, it makes mistakes. I caught a mistake when I was using AI this morning because its math was wrong. And I was like, and it was common, simple math.
Yeah.
But I called it out on it and said, you know what? You're right. My math was wrong. Let me redo it.
I had that too when doing a wealth course for real estate for entrepreneurs. And I'm really good at like exponential, like just because I've done so many real estate transactions and I know cash, how it all works. I'm like, dude, your math is wrong. You need to go check that. I can just see it at a glance. It's like, oh, you're right. And then fixed it. Weird as shit. But yeah, it's like a human, which is ironic. But anyway, so I wrote the first one and I'm like, what am I doing? So and to give you an idea of what this soap opera sequence is, guys, is they opt in. Let's say they're opting into a free trial for you or a free consultation or no sweat intro or whatever your main thing is. The first email is where you introduce yourself, build some rapport, and you're doing it through story that creates tension and what they're going to expect in the next 4 emails, right? And you're going to let them know, hey, tomorrow I'm going to be giving you something very valuable for free. So make sure to look out for that email. And that second email is where you cash them with a high drama story, tell them some of your backstory about your origin story, like why you got into this and why it's so important for you to help other people, and reveal a big wall that you came against, which leads to email 3, a big epiphany. And so like how I'm going to write this for the gyms, guys, is when I reveal the one thing, right? A lot of it is like, listen, if you go to our Google profile, you're going to see 180 5-star reviews. Over the last 12 years, we have done an amazing job about helping people transform themselves and lose the weight, get strong, get fit. And you'll see 180 5-star reviews, right? But what happened, and then you'll say a specific story. I remember, 2 years ago, 4 years ago, I went to the grocery store and I saw the second client that week who I ran into, who did amazing with us, left a 5-star review, and it was a year later, and they had gained all the weight back. And I realized then it's a lot more than just giving amazing workouts and some nutrition plans, right? It's more than that. We need to teach people not just to get results, but to keep them for a lifetime. And that's where we developed, bam, our unique program, right? And so like I'm telling it through story, it's engaging, all that kind of stuff. And people are going to look forward to these emails. I'm giving them the valuable stuff in here, right? And then the fourth email is talking about the hidden benefits, right? The hidden benefits this is the internal journey. So the externals, yeah, this person I invited them back in to do this program. They're not just down that 25 pounds again, but they're empowered in their life. They're not skipping out on social get-togethers, right? They're more confident as a person, all this kind of stuff. And then number 5 email is the urgency and call to action, why they really need to come in for that step now. And so I'm building this for us to help you guys as business coaches. The next step is I'm going to build it for the gyms. But yeah, so I did one. It took forever. I was mentally exhausted. And then I turned to ChatGPT and I gave it some prompts. And here is the hack on how to use this, guys. If you're typing out instructions to ChatGPT all the time, it's hard because your brain moves so much faster than your fingers and you'll forget stuff. Just do this on your phone and talk to it. So I had it simultaneously open on my internet browser, my Windows, whatever app. And what I did, I said, first I gave it instructions, say, hey, I'm a really big fan of Russell Brunson's soap opera sequence. 5 emails. I'm going to copy and paste these 5 days, the explanation of it and his exact scripts. Then I'm going to have you ask me questions to write this for me in my business. And then ChatGPT says, cool. So I copy and paste it. Then I'm working on my phone. It says, this is great. Tell me about blah, blah, blah. And what I did, I hit audio record on my phone and I just started talking. And here's the thing, guys, talk to it just like you're thinking out loud. I can't tell you how many times I started talking and then I'm like, oh, wait, you know what? Actually, this story would be better. Use this. And I won't stop anything. I'll just keep it going. I'm just talking to it like I'm talking to myself. And I'll say ums and ahs. I'm like, actually, do this instead. Just do it. And then it spit out day 1 and it was freaking amazing. And it did. Then he's like, cool. Now day 2, let me ask you these questions and tell me about, the problem that you had, blah, blah, blah. And I would just talk to it. And then it was amazing. It was amazing. Like it would do it better than I could do it myself. So listen to even email 2. Email 2, the subject is chapter 2 of 5, the day my business imploded. And here's where it starts. And it's in italics. in quotations, I need to meet with you urgently. The business is sick. This was a text I received on a quiet Sunday in October 2016. I had 4 gym locations at the time, and this message came from one of my key employees, someone I had trusted to run an entire facility. The urgency in his words sent a chill down my spine. Something was wrong, very wrong. And then it just goes on. So you could, like, that is better than I could have thought to write. And
it
was
me chills.
Yeah, it's so good. And all I did was just talk stream of consciousness to this, give it the right prompts. It is so good. And, my business was imploding, biggest mistake ever. It is written like a pro copywriter. I was drowning. I had 2 locations, hemorrhaging money, entire teams to replace, and a business that was on the verge of collapse, right? I was working 4:30 to 8 p.m. every single day, Saturdays, Sundays. And the worst part, I had a newborn at home, a baby not even 1 year old. I barely saw my wife. The only pictures I have from those early years are from when she would bring my son to the gym, because that was the only way we could see each other. And it is so good, guys. And then it brings in like the valuable things you're going to give, P.S. Oh, before I forget, yesterday I promised you a free resource. You can grab it here, right? This is the exact framework I wish I had when I was trying to escape the chaos. So guys, if you go anywhere on the PT Legends website, or that will have a different domain on that soon, and you opt into anything, you will be getting these emails very shortly if you want to see exactly what they are. But the point is, holy shit, like, this is an important thing that we all need to do in our businesses, no matter what that business is.
They look so good.
Oh, it's so good. And I did it in a fraction of the time, and something that exceeds my capacity to write copy.
See, and that's how you leverage a tool to make yourself better.
Yes.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Andy,
you're really good at using AI too. I think in this, over a series of podcast episodes, I think we should revisit this and show different ways that it works, because we can only get through so much in an episode. But like, I used it. I've been to couples counseling with my wife in the past. Horrible experience, like horrible. We could fight harder. We couldn't even fight harder ourselves and get in a worse position going out of that than we could. And I'll explain how I use that to just turn things around in my marriage, which was awesome.
That's incredible.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Andy? Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say that AI is something that I use in my gym to really tackle something that I know a lot of gym owners struggle with. And it's something that I've struggled with, and that's social media. And you're like, where do I even start? What do I post? What's my copy? What's my creative? Like all that kind of stuff. And I sat down and I said, okay, I need some help with this. ChatGPT is here. Let me see if I can utilize it. My number one tip, first of all, for ChatGPT, for anybody out there listening, is pay for the paid version. It's like $25 a month, and it is vastly way better than the free version. So spend the $25. It'll definitely be worth it. But I digress. So what I did was I sat down and I said, well, I want it to understand my business. And so I fed it information. I fed it information like my avatar client. I fed it information like the problems that my avatar client faces. I fed it information like my business model, what my fitness methodology is and philosophy, and how our services work to help our avatar client. Then one other thing that I did was I gave it writing samples. And I said, hey, here's some writing samples of me, stuff that I have written. When you write, I want you to speak in my voice. That way, it helps to maintain the human aspect of it without it sounding like ChatGPT all the time. And then last but not least, it's way better at understanding like lead psychology than I ever will be. Mm-hmm. And so I asked it if it understood Eugene Schwartz's 5 levels of awareness, and it gave me a whole write out of it. And now when I ask it to write things, I tell it to write in a certain level of awareness. So if I want to create a week's worth of social media, I can say, hey, please write for me 5 Instagram posts that speak to a level 3 avatar client of mine that addresses its their internal, external, and philosophical problems. I also want to I want to know what a great story, Instagram story to go along with that is, and then also give me a suggestion for the creative. And it'll spit it out. I can give it a framework. I can say I want you to cycle through, a list post, an inspirational story post, and a ask a question post, and it'll do it. And sometimes it's not great. So I have to go back in and I say, hey, can you redo Tuesday's post? We don't want to talk about weight loss. We want to talk about something else. And it'll do it. And then it learns. And that's the great thing about it. And so something that I would literally need to sit at my desk and probably take 2 hours to write, I can then have ChatGPT write for me, make small edits, and be done in 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. I mean, even just this morning, I wrote and posted and scheduled an entire week's worth of social media on Instagram and completely different in copy and everything on Facebook.
Unreal.
In 30 minutes.
Guys, so Andy's also going to be, well, and I will build different ones too, but we're building different little mini courses for you to go through to do this stuff too. And
yeah, we'll give you the prompts and everything.
Everything. Prompts, you can copy and paste, and then also we'll walk you through it, how it's done, what you want to look for. And this is stuff we're doing ongoing, guys. Every little thing that we're doing in our business is to move forward, and it can be AI and content and copy, organic lead gen, paid lead gen, hiring, you name it. We will have a ton of little mini courses for you guys. So whatever you need help with, you can just go in and get that help. But Andy, like, you're really good on leveraging certain things, and we provide done-for-you content for all of our clients, right? That you can just take and then make it your own, right? Make it just speak to your avatar, and obviously you fill in your business and your name where you need to.
Yeah, but the great thing, and it's one of the reasons why I was so drawn to PT Legends and Profit Lifestyle when I came on, a little over a year ago now at this point, was, I was talking to someone and they were like, oh yeah, and we have done for you social media content. And I was like, oh, well, that's really cool. And it basically gives us a framework, right? So we hand it out to all of our gym owners that they can then take that framework and say, cool, I'm going to slightly modify the copy to fit my gym, or I'm just going to use it as a framework and say, okay, on Monday, the done for you content says to post an inspirational story. I'm going to write my inspirational story, but it gives you a prompt, basically what we would do for ChatGPT, and it makes life so much easier. And we do all of that for our gym owners, and we hand that out on a weekly basis, actually ahead of schedule nowadays, so that people have time to do it and get it scheduled for an entire week.
Yep. The main reason why all our marketing sucks, guys, is it's really hard. Like when you're trying to make an email or a post or, an automation, you're sitting in front of a blank sheet of paper and like, where the hell do I start? Same thing. Let's say you need to record a little 30-second video for an ad or on your homepage to explain who you are, why you do what you do, and your proprietary method and why it's different, right? You're starting from a blank sheet of paper, and that's just really hard to do. So your email newsletters, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, wow, what should I write about this month? And it's so difficult. And if you go to my personal social media, outside of the clips that are coming from podcasts or webinars that I'm giving or a speech that my team kind of splices up and puts out there, I have fallen behind, and I am guilty of not writing personal posts, which on a call with other clients this week, we went to my personal profile. We looked at what's getting likes, engagements, comments, and it was all the ones I manually wrote. Now, here's the thing though, guys. I have shit the bed on doing it this year. Why? Lots of changes going on in multiple businesses. And I have not necessarily had the capacity to do it. And then whenever I've used ChatGPT, I'm like, this looks like ChatGPT wrote it, not Scott. And I don't want that at all. And that's not what works. And so I just realized I got to actually learn how to use it correctly, because let's be real. What happens is either you're going to do a bad job, that could happen, but what happens is you don't get the job done. 99 out of 100 aren't doing enough or doing a right job with email, with social media, which can be one and the same. And it's because it's very draining to fire up that creativity thing and start it from scratch and do it consistently. We go in spurts and then we fall behind. And so realistically, guys, you got to learn how to use this because you're going to increase your capacity. It's going to save you shit tons of time. And it's also going to make you a lot of money.
And who doesn't want that?
I continue to want it. That's why I'm like, shoot. That's why I'm learning as much as I can and doing as much as I can. I'm learning from you, Andy, learning from different sources and mastering this thing because holy cow, it is the ticket. No doubt about it. So, yeah, we'll do future episodes on that. And then, of course, if you ever want to know if we've got courses ready on it, I guess just email support@PT-Legends right now.
Yep.
And then we'll let you know when it launches. And it might be, by the time you're listening to this, we might already have it. So, and of course, find us on social media or whatever it is. We have show link notes, even to a Facebook group that you can go. So we'll be announcing it in there. So if you want to be kept up to date, just follow us on any of those channels. Also, do not forget to like and subscribe to this podcast too, especially if you find it valuable. We can alert you to when new episodes come up. It'll show up in your platforms. If you have any questions, we're available to answer them. So do those two things. And yeah, appreciate you guys listening. We'll see you on the next episode. Listen, if you're stuck and could use some advice in your business, whether you're just starting out, a veteran in the business, or expanding online or into multiple locations, you can hop on a free call with us to pick our brains at ptlegends.com/one-on-one call. You can see that in the show notes. That is with numbers. Chances are we'll be able to help you get some clarity on what you need to do specifically in your business to get to the next level. It's not a sales call. We'll connect you with the right resources to help you solve your problems. But if you want to learn more about working with us, that's cool too. We can share that information should you want it. So book your call now to get out of the rat race before your week consumes you, which is easy to do at ptlegends.com/one-on-one call. That's with the number 1 on the number 1 call. You can find this in the show notes. See you soon.